Welcome to the Not So Hungover Commander Smiths.
We are those Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
We made it through Smithcon, SC3, Smithcon 2024.
We did.
And kind of survived, right? I mean, yeah.
Kind of. I did a little dry even Sunday morning.
That was, so the best part about that is like, I was laying in bed just doing like, oh God, I feel like shit. I don't, you know me, I don't like to puke. So I was just like, but
Right.
It felt like that the whole time. I'm like, it's okay. I can get back to sleep here. I think I'm good. And then I hear, I was like, yeah, the first one, I was like, oh, did somebody just cough? Oh, nope, there it goes.
Yeah, I was just, I was taking a shit and felt like I had to puke. That was not the best combo. So,
but nothing came out. So that didn't,
yeah, maybe a little, I don't know, maybe a little bit, but not a lot of it. So I think, and I don't even think it was the drinking thing because by the end of the day, I was feeling like decent.
Yeah.
It was just, you gave me a little bit of your gummies.
Yeah. My strong gummies that were,
yeah, I mean, they are what they are. I don't do the THC stuff very much. And,
that with about, 10 Malort shots in your belly was they didn't
wasn't that much.
Dude, you turned into me last year. Just like, no, I didn't. The best was this part. This is
when it came to pushing Malort, yes. When
yes.
it came to passiality,
right? No. Yeah, I meant pushing the Malort. You weren't me, as in the drunk side. But the best, and this is gonna be a visual thing for people that are listening. This is not gonna help, but you have to watch this part. But at one point, Lowry walks in the conference room we had. He goes, Malort? And I'm like, you just did a cigarette thing, Malort. It wasn't a shot. It was a finger cigarette thing. I was like, what are you doing? But yeah, that was
and I've never smoked, so I don't know. Did we, maybe there needs to be a collab with a smoking company with Malort, like
no
cigarette dipped Malort.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. I mean, you can't. I would say you can't make it worse.
Cigarette Malort, like it's smoked, and throw it in there to put it out and let it just sit in there for a little bit. That could make it taste better, I think.
That barrel aged Malort, though, that does have a different taste. I wouldn't say it's better.
It's better, but not good.
Different. It's a different. That's a different animal. So yeah, Smithcon was great. It's takes me a while to recover.
But yeah. Yep, it's a lot of fun, and we will be spending some time talking about just Smithcon in general today.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the Secret Lair pretty quick here. Just to kind of.
We'll also do the Secret Lair that is going on right now. There were two more, the Assassin's Creed stuff.
Well, let's get to
associated with.
Why don't we get to it since you're kind of talking about it right now?
Well, and then we got Stump the Smith Savant at the end, and then we'll kind of talk about our schedule a little bit at the end. What we got going on.
Yeah. So Friday, just a really quick Friday, we are going to be doing a cast live again. So people that are watching now, if you aren't on later when we talk about it, Friday, jump in again. We're both not drinking right now. This is not booze. I am drinking the ice drinks because there was a lot this weekend. So that's that. And even if a Malort Shot is bought, we will not be taking that tonight, but we will save it for Friday, if maybe. We'll see. Daddy Dice
is here.
Doshi's there. All right, why don't we get to... let me get this. And a little bit of this. I do like RoboCop's keep it secret, keep it safe. Yes. Okay, so... we did do the breakdown last week of the Secret Lair stuff. There were two that we did not break down, so we're going to do those really quick because they are still available. There is a lot that are gone. As you can see down here, we are missing all the Hatsune Miku ones, just like the first time around.
Yep.
So this went faster this time, actually, or probably about the same time. Well, I kept checking the site, and at about an hour and 50 minutes is when the first one went bye-bye, and then everything else kind of followed suit. So why don't we just talk about the two that are there? Because actually I think these are worth talking about. especially there's one in particular. We'll start with that one. So it's the Assassin's Creed ones.
For sure.
Lowry, why don't you break this down really quick? The first
All right,
one.
so it's a Assassin's Creed associated. It has 5 equipment and then cool. It's like page art. I'm assuming that is kind of like the
Assassin's Creed,
the game art on it. But we have 5 equipment that are going to be in this one. You got Blade of Selves, which is the Myriad equipment, which is pretty dope.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
and you have Conqueror's Flail. That is also pretty cool. That's the +1/+1 for each of its colors. And
I didn't do the EDH rec numbers, so
I
they're
mean,
used
both
a
of them are
They're used
decently played. Like I like both of these.
Yeah.
And this does come in foil, non-foil,
Yep.
$30-$40 respectively. You have Dark Steel Plate, indestructible, gives indestructible. What more do you want?
Right.
And then you have Deathbender. I like this one. This isn't going to be used a whole ton, but whenever a creature dies that's equipped to it, you get to put a creature from your hand into play equipped to Deathbender. So, but it's cool. And then Whisper Silk Cloak. Yeah, that's a baddie right there.
Yeah. So like all of these are like usable cards. I've used every one but Death Render. I think that's the only one I haven't used or have put in a deck. Every single one of these has been in a deck, or I think Flail's in one, Selves is in a couple, and Cloak is definitely in one. Dark Steel Plate I don't use as much anymore, I guess. Because we have other options like Mithril Coat and
Mithril Coat really took its place for sure.
So, but all that being said, even on the non-foil side, I think each of these you could sell for at least $10. So the non-foil is actually not terrible. You get to a value of $50 and then subtract your fees and stuff. You're $39. It's still a breakpoint 5, so it still takes you 5 to get going positive. But that might be higher. Some of these equipment might be a little better. On the foil side of things, though, that gets you a value of $100. I mean, that's pretty good. You got the flail. There's the flail's like 30, Dark Steel Plate 20, Death Render is 20 as well. So I mean, there's the values there for each of these, and the art is. These are going to be the premium versions of each one of these.
Yeah, really cool.
So that one after fees breaks you down to 77. So that's actually a breakpoint of 3, almost a breakpoint 2. So this one's actually really, really good, and I like the art with it. It reminds me of the we got the sketch art, you know, when they did that with the Dominaria
schematic or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that stuff. So I really dig this one. Let's move on to the other Assassin's Creed one. That would be this little guy.
This one's full of legends. Also 5 cards. Art associated with Assassin's Creed and names. It's a reskin of known legends and commanders. First one that we have here is going to be Najila, the Blade Blossom. Is that what it is? I'm sure AJ is going to be happy about that one. There are plenty of people like this is the card about for this one right here.
Drop. Yep, for sure.
Next one is going to be I should probably try and say the names. Altar, Brotherhood, Mentor, and this is Kelsey and the Plague, which is pretty. This is what if I still had the deck would have had me buy it. But I'm assuming I'll be able to kind of get this as a single. So.
Super cheap, I bet. That's probably the cheapest one out of the drop.
Yeah, and then Amunet's Tyrant's End, which is Queen Marchesa, the one that has Monarch and creates assassins and stuff like that. Makes a ton of sense here. And then you have Basim, Master Assassin, which is Ramsey's Assassin Lord, which was the Dominaria kind of like commander, not commander, impact type card. So
yeah, and it's whenever a player loses the game, you win the game if it was attacked by assassin. It seems like a weird one to build around, but whatever.
And then they have Adward.
Can you hit your button for you?
I can hit my button for me.
Can't even.
We got a double there.
Edward. Well, Savant's gonna be amazing here.
You're sober, Savant.
Edward Jackdaw Captain, which is Admiral Beckett Brass or whatever. But it's a pirate one. They have a pirate Assassin's Creed as far as I know, so makes a lot of sense, I guess.
So one thing to note, I don't remember which one it was on, but they did spoil that one of these drops has the hay something rather. I don't know. There's something spoiled with it. I probably should have written it down, but I didn't because there was more of what we wanted to talk. Oh, value-wise. Non-foil side, $45. After fees, $35. So that was breakpoint 7. That's not very good. And on the foil side of things, $75. After fees, $58. Breakpoint 4. It's there. The thing I would say that it has going for it is these are all commanders. So when you have commanders, they tend to go a little bit higher when you have the most special version of each one of the cards. So the fact that it's a legendary, like a commander, I don't know if they're necessarily used a lot. I mean, some of them, but Nagila's used a lot.
I mean, Nagila and Queen Marchesa are the ones that are used a lot, but really it's just Nagila for the money.
Right. And so I think Nagila could get up to 30 plus potentially just because, but we do have like, we don't have a full art like this, I don't think. I think the only thing we have is the etched foil from Commander Legends, right?
Nagila got a Secret Lair printing when it came to
that's right. There is one Secret Lair, isn't there?
That video game, Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're right there. So that one might be a little harder. Maybe the 30 is probably the top on that one. Is that the best version? Maybe. Marchesa could probably get up there to 20 or something, but that's not what I put it at. I put it at 10 because that's kind of the most expensive card that's like of the printings. There isn't anything that's over 10. So
again, for everything that we do talk about, like if you like the cards, like a lot of them, go for it. We're not saying don't buy it. It's just, is the value there or not? This one seems like not really.
So yeah, if you're looking value-wise, the equipment one is definitely the one to go for. And I think, you can still get the bundle that gets both of them, and then you also get the, what was the art one? Who was that with? That one was the featuring Julie
series.
Bell, which I liked that one. Yeah, that one's really good too. So of what's left, because we lost all the bundles. As soon as one of the Hatsune Miku's went, we lost the big bundles, and that was something actually I wanted to write is like, or talk about was that the fact that it nails so many things when one thing sells out, it's you got to be in early, especially because the bundles sometimes are the best thing to get, and that's kind of what I went for is bundles. There was a lot more issues with this one. You didn't have any issues, right, checking out or anything?
I mean, nothing technical, but I didn't even try and get on until like 3 hours into it, and it said 20 minutes, and I'm very certain it took 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, so you
so it still had to wait 3 hours into it.
That's kind of crazy.
And the foil Hatsune Miku was already sold out, and then soon after the Japanese and non-foil were sold out.
So what I will say is, people, if you missed out on it, if you look at the first one going right now, you can get a lot of that stuff for dirt cheap. As people got them, they're selling them really cheap right now. It's kind of like every Secret Lair. You can get the singles for really cheap. Not the bundles or not bundles. The sealed product tends to be a little bit higher, but right now it's cheap. And like we said, 10 to 16 months is normally our time frame here. So I know we talked about it last time because a similar thing happened, almost identical. But what do you think with everything? I mean, now this is the second time in a row we've hit 2 hours in. I feel like people were ready for it this time. We ran in. I was mentioning the problems. The problem I ran into is I got on my Chrome browser, and what I normally do is I pick the ones that I want. I just put one in the cart, one in the cart, one in the cart, like this bundle, this one, and then I go to checkout right away because I know the time will take a long time. And during that time, I figure out how many I want of each thing that I just put in the cart. And then when it gets to checkout, normally I can change it to whatever number I want. This time, when I went to change the number, the checkout button wouldn't let me click it. So then I had to refresh the page, and it kept doing that. I refreshed it like 7-8 times. Ugh. Yeah, and luckily it didn't kick me out, but I had to keep it at 1111. And then when I went to check out, it went to the next page, and it didn't pull up anything. It just had my address, like it said change your address, but then I clicked the tab and nothing happened. So I sat there for a long time. Luckily, what I always do, just in case I run into something like that, is I had another browser going. I was on the the Microsoft browser. So I had that one going at the same time. Like after I get this one going, I start another one just to make sure that if something like that happens. So by the time I got queued in on the other one, I was able to get my order in. I was able to change everything on that browser, but Chrome never worked. So one more hiccup as I'm checking out with the Microsoft one. I clicked it and I put in my email and I'm like, pay. And then it started like thinking, it's like 1 minute, you got to wait till whatever, don't do anything. And then all of a sudden I went back to the checkout and had all the stuff that I had in there. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, maybe it was my email. Maybe that's what the problem is. So I changed my email and then I did it again. And then that one worked. I got the confirmation and all that. And then I got an email saying, you have $0 in your account. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go in and both of them charged. So it went through, but because I chose two different emails, because I thought the problem was my email, it did it twice. So now I'm in the process of trying to cancel one of them. But yeah, so
so this kind of reminds me of Mythic Edition when they had that shit show when everybody went in, and that's why like a ton of people got those sheets of cards, and that's the problem with charging right away.
Yeah,
right. And they weren't doing that when beforehand. They were charging you when they were getting stuff ready.
Yep. And that's another good point, because when I went to their site to try to cancel, it says you can only cancel, like there's a cancel button if it's a pre-order, but these charge you right away, so there's no cancel button. So basically it says you're out of luck. So I had to go through the long way and start a ticket like we do when there's a missing thing in Secret Lairs. And then it's like, well, you wrote the wrong email with the wrong code here, so you got to go to your right email and log into there. So I have to figure this out later. So it's just, this one was more of a mess. This was more of a mess than normal.
And right now you got the fish frenzy that they are purposely creating. This is what they want.
Yeah.
Because that's what the limited print is, and you have something that a lot of people want in the Hitsumika. Is that how
Miku?
Am I saying that right?
I think
Hitsumika.
Miku. Quacky Serpy Niku.
Sorry. But this is what you get instead, because you don't have a website that's going to be handling all of that traffic right away at one moment. It's a lot easier to spread it out, not have these headaches, not overcharge. Everything that they had learned their lesson from Mythic Edition, and then they fuck it up 3 years later and go back to what's going on. And this isn't nearly that good, but you're back to those problems.
Right.
And they didn't solve any of the problems in the meantime. They just went, fuck them. They want it. It's good. And so to me, it's frustrating. And I did fill out a survey. There was one at the end. I was just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to deal with the headache of going after it, especially after I saw people were like, hour wait. And I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't really want it anyway, other than I knew
that it was gonna sell,
that it was popular.
Yeah.
And so, FOMO.
Well,
so I just said, fuck it, I don't want that. And I went with Prosh and the 2 equipment in Assassin's Creed. I was only going to do one, and then I forgot about the free shipping thing when you're over 100. So I went back and got a second.
Got another. Yeah. So I did.
Yeah. So
I did the main foil bundle for myself, because that's my collection one, and then I went deep on. I went max, which is only 5, on the English Hatsune Miku and the Hatsune Miku bundle one, and that's what I went. But it all got doubled, so it was a lot of money, and I'm trying to get that figured out.
Doji's kind of into the waifu cards, and he has passed on both of the Hatsune Miku.
Was that what
Secret Lairs?
Is that what that's from?
Which is kind of like the anime with a girl on it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I remember Doji that first. those nice.
Appreciate you understand.
But here's one other question, and I don't know what they do here. Well, they probably just eat it. But if I'm able to get mine canceled, that throws off like a bunch more into their inventory. They probably don't go back and go, oh, guess what, guys? We got a couple copies. Hurry, buy it. Does it just?
Well, that might be true.
Yeah. Well,
unless things get cleared out and then it'll pop back up. Maybe.
I don't know. So
Maybe
I
if there's a handful of them that happen, like 10.
Yeah, so I don't know. And this wasn't like a just me thing. Like it was, they posted it on Twitter saying we're having problems with people checking out, and then people are having the exact same problem I was having. So it's like this was a widespread issue, kind of like you said, the Mythic Edition. That was a widespread issue.
It's a predictable outcome for something that they did nothing for. And it's just like, well, what you'll end up doing is just having a PR team that goes, oh, sorry, let's do our best. No, or they hard ass and just go, you fucked up, I guess. We'll take all your money.
Yeah.
I don't know which way they go there, but
yeah, we'll see. Because it does say, like I said, on their site.
Well, Scott, he doesn't want 2 times the order. He just wants the one.
I want the one order because that's what I got. I was like, I got my orders right, and now I have 2. And yes, no money. I had to like go into my savings, and it was part of our Smithcon funds trying to get that balance. And I'm like, Lowry, I gotta wait until I get this figured out because it drained my shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's much more I really wanted to talk about with the Secret Lair stuff. It's just, I don't know if I like the new style. The only way I like, the only reason why I like it is the limited quantity part. I do like that part because then it's like, you don't get that issue of the Praetors and all that stuff, but I don't like it because.
Well, that's a good point. Is it Andy? I'm guessing Andy.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. Hey, Mr. Andelson from the GIF. What the fuck was that one?
That was funny.
So, but I think that's a really good point in bringing up like anything that's canceled or able to cancel goes into overstock and can fill any damaged or fucked up orders. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. Because I got a messed up order on my last one, so they're gonna have to fulfill that thing there somehow. So spit on that thing. Sorry, I'm not gonna.
Hey, well, it's just a reaction from the weekend, I guess.
That's all we talked. Everything was hot tour.
That was pretty big this weekend.
All right, so I think that's it for Secret Lair stuff.
Right.
If you just
so I guess the lesson being learned is if you want something really bad, make sure that you're there right away and just bog down the system even worse next time. Let's just fuck up the entire site.
You got 2 hours, so don't panic because this
don't. It's gonna be
an
shorter
hour and
next
50
time.
minutes.
Everybody's waiting an hour, so it's at least an hour. Right, because it just fucks their system up.
And I highly suggest get in 2 browsers because that did help me. My panic was a lot less once I was like, I can't close this because I had the other one going and I just had to wait for that to kick in.
Well, I refuse to go to Microsoft Edge or Bing.
So is that the one I was using? Is that the one with the wave?
I'm just saying stuff.
It is Microsoft Edge. That's the one that I was able to make it work.
That thing.
Because that was from your old computer that fucked your stuff up, wasn't it? Is that why you don't want to use it?
No, I don't even know if Edge was a thing. They had like their news page on it because I accidentally clicked on it today and it was just like a bunch of fucking clickbait articles and I'm like, I hate these.
Yeah.
I hate this so much. I do not like this. Like it was like it was like, what was it? It's always, it's propaganda when the person hasn't reacted to whatever it is. They're like, women's Olympic team has lost 500 million in endorsements because Caitlin Clark isn't there, and then they got a circle of Caitlin Clark just smiling there. You're like, what the fuck are you like? That's not her reaction.
Yeah,
I fucking hate. Why do I even want this here? Fuck you, Edge. There we go.
Well, it worked for me to get my Secret Lair stuff, so that was I appreciated that. So Mark is saying that. Which was different. They dropped. Different time of the day.
Well, and maybe we're gonna fight about it a little bit, but I think it's a limited product. I think Secret Lair is limited no matter what, people ordering it or not, and just fulfilling the order because people only want singles. In a year, the supply isn't there.
Yeah.
Like it is just basically whatever anybody thinks that they can sell off, and if you fuck up. And something drops in price, like the Praetors and stuff like that.
You sit on it for fucking
then
3
you
years.
sit on it and wham, cry.
Yeah.
You overbought. That happens sometimes.
Right. You hit and you miss.
But everybody that wanted fucking Phyrexian Praetors got it if they wanted it.
Right.
But new people come into the game, it's already going to be shorted.
Right.
It naturally will be shorted. So it doesn't make sense to me when it comes to that, other than my cards are going to be more expensive.
Well, like you're saying,
So,
it
and
is.
you get that in so many other forms as well.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this was a print to demand product with cool art, different things that they were trying, and now it is something else.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Everybody's kind of on the other side. I think
That's okay.
Yeah. No. It's.
You all can be wrong.
I have a microphone and you don't.
I mean, you speak for the Urza's for Life crowd too. That's fine.
Urza's for life.
But I don't think it makes it. That's my point. It doesn't make it more desirable. I think I only saw 1 or 2 people playing with Secret Lair cards this weekend of 32 cards or 32 people and hundreds of decks there.
Hundreds?
It was like me, you, and I saw Dice Daddy playing with them. So like, how many? It's already fairly rare. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
or people are doing it like us, where it's the proxies of cards that are expensive, and that would not be one that I'd play with. I'd do proxies more.
Sure.
Yeah. Looks like you get a thumbs down. Nice.
Hashtag Team Force Walk.
Get the fuck out.
There we go.
What is
There
this
we
business?
go.
What is this business? We got a nice cake this weekend that said some really nice things, but I'm going to give you this, Larry.
Get the fuck out!
And you, Sean.
But
You
and
get that.
maybe I'm totally way off
And
base
you-
here too, because
Get
the people that
the
are buying
fuck
Secret Lair
out!
are the ones that want it to be limited. I just think it's already limited, but maybe it doesn't matter.
There's a good one. There's Tad. There we go. You get the Lowry one.
Get the fuck
Ow. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
basically, if we're ever lacking in comments, one of us just has to say hashtag Team Forest Walk and things go
and
off.
it goes
That's basically what happens.
yeah, the freaking Ibukaki didn't even announce that he got his damn Urzas. He's like, I don't want to say that I got it this weekend when he played it, because everybody else announced it. There's another one. Renshaw, you get it.
Get the fuck out.
So yeah, I don't know. Should we just get to talking about the weekend that was a blur? No, it wasn't that bad of a blur.
It was fast. I think I counted that I had about 13 games between the 2 days.
And
I know you had more. Some of my games went long.
Yeah, I had 3 on Friday. We played later. We stayed up later than we normally do on Friday, and we drank a little bit more, I think, on Friday than we normally do on Fridays. Yeah. And we went to IHOP at 1:00 in the morning. That was a treat, because I forgot to eat when we were at Whirly Ball. I was just more focused on getting people in games and getting the food and all that. So I had 3 or 4 tater tots and a wing. And what time was everybody left about midnight? And I was like, I need to eat something or this is going to be bad tomorrow. Yeah. So we went to IHOP and saw 3 girls that probably have never seen daylight. And do you remember that sitting behind?
I wasn't looking around like you guys. I was chatty. I was chatty Kathy.
Yep. There was was it before we left that there was that passed out guy in the hotel in the hallway out there? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that either.
Oh, I think it was Travis that came in, or maybe it was Zero. It was like, you guys might want to not go in the hallway for a little bit, because they were like taking the guy out of the hotel.
Oh.
And then there was a crowd of people.
I knew it was something. I didn't realize it was a pass out. I thought it was like a scene.
Yeah, it was when we were leaving to go to IHOP at midnight or whatever, 1:00. That's when there were people watching on the other side of the hall, and then there was just a bunch of crap where the guys had passed out on the floor in the hallway. So yeah, that was nobody from our crew. That was just it's what happens, I guess, at this hotel.
Yeah, it sounded like musician Prince was having kind of like he's obviously dead, but like some type of concert, like memorial to him in downtown Minneapolis or something. So there's a lot of people there.
Yeah. So, but we had no incidents or anything. We had, it was a good.
No. I didn't see anybody come in.
Nope.
Like I saw one person like pop their head in and then leave real quick.
It's kind of funny to watch people watch us as they walk by, because it's just
they're
just like, you bunch
what's
of
going on in there. And basically, yeah. So Smithcon is like we invite our patrons and we rent kind of like a big room, and we had 32 people there, I believe, maybe a bit more, but in and out. I think max we were at 32 people.
Yeah, it was yeah. When we at any given time, I think the most we had was 25 or 23, but then we had people come and go throughout the time we were there, so it probably ended up about that 32 mark there. So yeah, it was a lot of
One
fun.
happy customer here with Bill from Woodbury.
Yeah.
Smithcon was a blast. No, and we know that it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak for everybody. Hopefully everybody loved it, but
yeah.
It is a lot of fun. We just get a lot of games in. Whirly Ball Friday night was wild.
Oh, you have bruises.
I got bruises on my
too.
thighs from the seatbelt.
Not like your bruise.
You hit me, not ones that I like, but you hit me so hard I almost flew out of there. That thing that saved my life.
Can you imagine if you didn't have your seatbelt on like last year? Like, I would have been out. I had one game where my seatbelt it fell down the crack. And so I'm running around going, don't hit me. But then I was able to like stand up and grab the ball off the ground and all that crap. So and then it turned into throwing rackets at the targets. Yeah, it was a good time. It's
belligerent.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I don't.
It was a lot of fun. Like Tad was definitely a ringer, and he noticed it, and he kind of chilled. He was playing just back their defense.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Sniper.
He could have rung the score up real. He's like a Babe Ruth in there. He just kind of sat back.
Yeah. So that was good. It was a lot of fun. I didn't play one Commander game with you this weekend, did I?
No, it was nice, wasn't it?
Ibukaki was happy that he didn't have to play either of us.
Right. That's why he doesn't show up when we invite him in real life too.
I don't want to play you guys.
Yeah, no, he wasn't around the whole time. Alex is a good friend of mine, and he ended up getting a puppy this weekend. His wife went and got it while he was at Smithcon, and so he's like, I think he heard it.
Yeah,
he sobered up. And he's like, I
gotta go. Yeah.
Gotta go get some snuggles. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. The real question is how many Jeweled Lotuses were played. I actually saw one, and actually
I didn't see one.
Quinn gave away Jeweled Lotus. My brother Joe, congratulations, Joe, won that. Quinn had a bunch of dice bags that his wife made.
Yeah.
That he gave out. Doji helped us out with Dungeons and Dragons Secret Lair we gave away. We had Smithcon merch, whatever, from the store. So we had mugs, tokens, play mats, all that stuff. We gave that away.
Yeah.
And then what else we got? Jace Raider made the cake, the Urza's for Life cake. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I felt like that was a little overboard there. You didn't have to go and get a cake, I guess.
And then
I wanted to punch it.
Ibukaki's wife made fucking awesome cookies. I can't believe how she did the symbols and everything on there.
Right. I did post it in Discord, at least the forest one, because a hashtag Team Forest Walk cookie.
Yeah, I gave you the get the fuck out on that too. So I did this for you.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good.
I didn't taste one.
Looked fantastic.
Yeah, the table by Adam won all the things, all the big things. Number 2 started picking the numbers, and I just freaking chose the name, and it was always that spot. And yeah, the best part is Joe won the Jeweled Lotus, and then he gave it to me. No, I'm just kidding. I already have one. So.
I was like, rigged. Hashtag rigged for sure, Tad. I got made fun of because I'm trying to hand out these things, and I apparently have group blindness. I could not find a single person. I was like, hey, this person won, and nobody's like, here, raises a hand. They just all fucking stare at me, and I'm just looking. I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I need movement to see stuff, and nobody moved. And then they're all like, you don't know who I am? You don't know where I'm at? No, I don't fucking know anything. Just
yeah. Well, that's
one
where Travis won right in the front, and you walked right past him all the way to the back.
He's outside of my peripheral vision.
He's right next to you. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. If you guys, aren't a part of the Discord, you should join solely for the well, I mean, mainly on the Discord, just chatting and stuff. But Smithcon's a lot of fun, especially if you're in the Midwest. It makes it easy. We did get Red Squirrel that came from out of town. He was our furthest flyer this time. And then a lot of people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was a ton of fun meeting you as
for
well.
Sure. That's the best part. We had there was a lot of new people that we hadn't seen there, so that's cool too. Like, I think last year we had a pretty much repeat. We probably had like 4 new faces, and this year I felt like we had a lot more. Maybe it was about the same, maybe 4 to 8 new faces. So that was kind of nice. But yeah,
it was a lot of fun meeting new people.
Is there anything else? What? Tiny Arms Lowry hashtag?
Because I call myself a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then I should have shortened the name, by the way, but yeah. That's not exactly what I was thinking. More Jurassic Park, like don't move. It can't see you if you don't move. Not,
but they want to
win. Give
the
hugs, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's the other thing. I don't know if we've been kind of lucking out. We've each year gone a little later and a little later in the conference room because that first year, remember it was like 9 o'clock. We're like, oh, we only have an hour, guys. We got to be done by 10, and we like had it cleaned up, and we were out of there by 10. We went back to our room and everybody just drank and talked, and we didn't play anymore. Last year, I don't remember the end. But
last year, you made it to 11. It was great.
And you guys stayed up.
I know me, Bill, and Mark were in there until like fucking 3 or 4. It was fucking insane.
But then this year,
we were like, if anybody came by, we could have just left. We were in the middle of the game. But this time we played until like 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30 played games.
Yeah, something like that.
We closed the doors, so we were like, let's hide so they don't know we're in here.
Right. Well, a janitor came and he's like, "Can I close this door?" And
did he?
It was after 10. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
That's why the doors got closed and it got fucking hot.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So I think he was just like, "Cool. It doesn't look terrible." Yeah. And
I didn't even realize that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So
and thanks to Tad to start getting us started with the cleaning up because he
did a large portion of it.
I told him, I was like,
thank you.
If you didn't start that, our drunk asses probably would have slept in there. It would have been
it would have been tough.
We still stayed up till 3:30 in the damn morning, which is dumb, taking more Malort shots, and just Malort is the worst. It's absolute awful. Just bad decisions.
I don't know. I don't know why we do
And
this.
I'm like, hey, Lowry, you want to go to bed? I know you're a little hyped up on Malort or whatever. You want to? Here's an edible at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then that's down.
And then we did go to bed, and then it woke me up. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I fell
back asleep, but it hit me like brick. So
I do have to mention the Lowry farts. So that is both nights because I have to sleep with the fan pointing at me because that's just how I sleep. Well, when you're
the noise, the wind.
Yes, I need it like that right at my face. And the best part is, well, I actually said to Lowry, I was like, he only gave me one big fart. That was good. It was one big loud one. No, he did a lot more than that because the fan, what it would do is he'd fart and it'd like waft over to the fan and then the fan would just shoot it right at my face. So I think you did the second night you did more, but they were not loud. All of a sudden I just kept smelling and I'm like, God damn it.
I think it was smellier the second night.
Yes.
But the first night, oh man, I had a duck in bed with me. It was
I only heard the one. I must have been totally past.
No, that was the last one.
Yeah. Then I'm sure
I could have done that into the fan and did like the Darth Vader voice, but it would have been a Darth Vader fart. So they were long.
No, the best was after I took a shower and then you went into the bathroom afterwards. So it's kind of hot and steamy in there. And then you did, this is the first night or first day when we woke up on Saturday. You did your thing and you're coming out and I start walking by and I could feel the heat from the steam in the bathroom and your fart. So I was like, this is the first time I've ever felt a fart. Like I could feel it hit me. It was like, whoa.
Humidity fart?
Yes, it was so bad. It's like, you have to close that. So then Ibukaki and Zero wanted to take a shower and they were like, we got to wait like at least a half an hour.
I didn't realize they wanted to take a shower. Yeah. I let them go pee first, at least.
That was nice of you. Yeah, that was.
Oh, that was it was dense.
Yeah.
It was pretty dense in there.
Oh, and then why don't you tell one more thing about right before we're about to start Smithcon? What happened with your magic cards?
Oh yeah, I was walking downstairs, and before we even hit the door, my one of my DeWalt things that hold half my decks just fucking emptied on the floor.
Did you play any of those decks this time?
I went up later. So okay, so getting into that part. So I dumped them all, and what we did was they helped separate the decks, but I didn't bring them down. I was like, I don't want to fucking deal with that, get commanders where they need to be and whatnot. But that also had my dice in it. And for the first 75% of the day, I just was playing out of one box, and I did not have my dice. I did not go back upstairs. My phone was basically dead because I forgot my charger too. I was a fucking mess this weekend, I guess.
Did Kirsten go, why didn't you text me or call me at all this whole weekend?
No, she doesn't care. But so Doji became my dice daddy.
Oh, that's
because
where the
he had so
dice
many
did.
dice. And so if he was near, I'd be like, dice daddy, get some dice from him. He was very kind to share with me. So, and then once I got to it was pretty late at that point. I want to say like 7 or 8. I went and actually got my bag and switched out those decks and got about 3 more games in.
It's crazy how fast it goes. Like you said earlier,
Right.
like it gets started and it's like, all right, getting a game or two in, and the pizza gets there and you start eating the pizza, and then
once the pizza starts flowing, that's when it kicks up a notch.
and then all of a sudden it's like you said, 7 o'clock, and it's like, oh my gosh, we only have like 3 hours left, and but now that's a long one. You probably can't read it. Oh, they're talking about the Secret Lair, how it crashed a bunch of times. Yeah, the Secret Lair. Yeah. So I don't know. All of a sudden it just goes. You go into fast forward mode, and it sucks because it's like, no, I want this to go longer. This sucks that it's almost 10. I'm just glad that we got to play until 1:30 because we got a couple more extra games in there. So, but yeah. I guess should we do? Are you gonna say something else? Look like you're about to say something.
Do we want to do like some game talk, like situations that got wild or crazy?
I don't have crazy ones, so why don't you, that I could think of right off the top of my head? You give me one of your crazy.
I got a couple, like not wild crazy, but they were pretty nifty. Like I know like a big one was Bill from Woodbury had that cauldron that can steal activated ability creatures, like you exile it, and it's really expensive from Eldraine. So it's like a $40 card from the Eldraine set.
Is a black card then?
No, it's a cauldron.
A cauldron?
No, it's an artifact.
Oh.
But basically what he did was he took the druid that taps for a green for each creature you control. And so all of his creatures that had 1+1 counters on it could tap for 11 mana because he had 11 of them.
Shit.
So he could create. He had like 130 mana that he could use at any one point, and he almost let me draw for Ristic Study, and then he was like, "Oh no, I don't need to do that.
I can overpay for that."
Right. Tad ended up with like 300 Scute Swarm at the end of the night. That got real wild.
It's Agatha's Soul Cauldron is what.
Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
Was saying. Thank you.
What was it? There was one where it was me, Lucas, and who else was in there? I think it was Tyler. But I was playing Takasia, which is kind of a self-mill deck, and then Lucas ended up getting the that blue-black creature that mills cards to a land whenever that player casts a spell.
Mm-hmm.
So like I own the creature, cast a spell, all my opponents mill until they hit a land. And so I was fucking just burning through my deck. I don't have anything that shuffles stuff back in. And so but I have Academy, the one that puts an artifact back on top.
Yeah, Academy Ruins.
Generosity.
Yep.
Yeah, Academy. So I had those two. So I was just putting enchantments and artifacts back on top so I didn't die to draw. And then he pulls out like a wheel and he's like, everybody draw 7. I was like, oh, I can't do that. I fucking died. But it was basically me just trying to survive,
By
and it
putting
was
stuff
kind of
back.
it was fun and funny, and because he even had that the creature was like fucking 50-50, and as he was like killed all my stuff, milled me out, and I was just like, I'm gonna tap a white creature. It was prismatic strands, flashback from my graveyard. I was like, black black permanents can't deal damage, or black things can't deal damage this turn. So he couldn't win the game there. Just bought another round. It was real annoying. I'm sure for everybody, and that game took forever. That was one of the long games, and it just kept on stringing along. It was fun.
I had two. Well, one, I finally came across a deck that I built where I fucking hated it. The whole time I was just mad at it. The morph deck, the one that the precon that I upgraded. I just
When you were
it.
building it or when you were playing it?
Playing it. It was terrible. I'm
Okay.
like, this deck's done. Like I don't do that. I'm never playing that deck again. I'm not letting
Wow.
it used to be like I was like, oh, this would be good for new players. No, it's not good for new players. I'm done with that deck. I'm tearing that one apart. So that one the whole time I just bitched.
Welcome to the club.
The other funny interaction was when Mark was using your Alayla deck. Fun.
Yeah.
I
or
was
not
his
fun for you guys?
No, well, mainly me because I was his main target, but he was getting out of control, so it was like board wipe, and then he had that spell. What is it? Triple white or quad white, and brings back all your artifacts, enchantments, or whatever. He brings them all back. So like one turn, we got board wiped, and I'm after Mark, so got board wiped, and by the time it was back to Mark or back to me again. My stuff's all gone, but Mark is right back up to full strength and hitting me. And I'm like, okay,
that's definitely the point of the card in there.
Super fun. So the best part about it is he finally takes me out because Mark does how he plays it. And I kind of thought about it later. I was like, Mark does how he plays. He plays it like how you should. You take out a player, you work your way through. He doesn't even it out like we do a lot of times. So if he starts going on one player, he goes at that player and takes him out. So, and also because we're a Smith, we have the playmats that say kill the Smith first.
Sure.
So that's also his excuse there. But so he kills me, right? I walk away. I'm like, fine, let's see if I can get another game. A couple minutes later, he's like, yeah, we got board wiped again. So we just decided, hey, let's all win and have Adam just be the only loser in that whole game. They did a draw. They didn't finish the game. They all because it was a 5-person game. They all decided to, hey, let's just say it's a draw, guys. How about that? And so, fuck you. I was like, they didn't even finish the damn game, and I'm the only loser. So yeah, that was my most notable ones, I guess. There are other ones. I mean, there wasn't crazy. Oh, I guess I did win with Bolus's Citadel. I've never cast Bolus's Citadel, and I did Bolus Citadel things with my.
That's crazy.
Which deck was that? It's my mono black. Why am I brain farting on her name? That makes the sacrifice, all that stuff. What's her name?
Braids.
Yes. So yeah, Braids. I was able to use actually Bolus's Citadel, sacking 10 permanents to win the game. Like that's how I won the game.
Oh
yeah. So I was able to. I gained a bunch of life because of Haunt of Hightower. It was like I gained 19 life. Because I was at like 3, went up, and then I was casting spells with my life, got enough permanents, was able to, every time my creatures died, he was losing 2 life. So I sacked everything. He was at like 14 and then did 10 to the face because of the creatures dying and all that stuff. So that was my craziest interaction. But yeah, so it was good.
Nice.
All right.
Oh.
Got one more?
Yeah. Riku of Many Paths.
Mm-hmm. Is that your counterspell
the deck
one?
is fucking crazy.
Is that your counterspell one where you locked number 2 out?
Yeah. It was stupid. I locked the table out. It was a Red Squirrel, Logan, and number 2. And because that was when we went and did the group picture. So we were like midway, and I was already I had too much. It's like too much removal, too much choice. As in like it's always good in every situation. And then the counter spells just step in for anything that I don't have like removal in hand for. And then you can see so many cards when you're exiling stuff off the top. And then I was talking with Red Squirrel during the picture, and I was just kind of like, I need to figure out how to play the deck, because right now I feel like I'm in control, but that's all I'm doing.
You're just
I was like, I should probably just start making like flyers. And that's when I started doing it. I made like 10, wiped out the board, made another like 6, and just started putting a ton of pressure on. The deck is crazy. So basically, I'm gonna try and I get to play you with it one time, so you can just remember what counter spells are like.
Well, no,
An
that's
oppression.
okay. I
That's
don't want to
you
be sitting in the
That's all right.
corner with sucking my thumb because
No,
I will have.
that's exactly what I want.
Oh, that
So,
sucks.
but
We're never gonna
that
play
one
each other
was-
again.
It's something that I gotta be pretty careful with, because it is that everything's a counter spell,
Mm.
and it's
Sounds awful.
you could tell that it wasn't fun. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do that much
Right.
too much.
You
So
just
one
want
more game.
One more game,
with
so I'm
you.
not having fun. And then,
Well, I mean, it all makes sense that like karma spilled on the deck when I was building it, because it was like, you should not be playing this, Laura. You say you don't do counter spells, spill. And then still did it
yeah.
out of spite.
Mark, well, Doji, I was in that game with you where he was casting his hydras for 1x, but then all his counter doublers and everything, it came out as like 8, 9, 9s each one, and it was brutal. That was a brutal game. There was a lot of fun games though. I got to play a lot of decks. I didn't do Tom Bombadil for reasons of last year.
Of anxiety. Should take that one apart too.
No, I love that.
It's just
deck.
a lot of triggers.
No, it's fine, but when there's a big crowd of people, that one gets me a little more. Like Hackball kind of did that to me, and that was my first game. Like I felt the same anxiety thought. Like just because it's a lot. Like it's different when you're at your own house, and we have the same a similar amount of people, probably half. But you're kind of all in different rooms. When you're all in the same room and there's like a entertaining thing too, where you're doing a bunch of stuff, it's just too much going on. And that's what Hackball started to do that, because it was like, all right, this one explores.
There's
Look
a
at
lot
this
of
stuff. This. And then I also had Wild Growth Walker, or is that right? Wild Growth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So gaining 3 life, getting another counter, doing this, and that one went off too. That was a crazy one. So that was. I liked this year for how my decks. This is get ready for an good for you. Smithcon 2. I won a lot of games, and I didn't want to win that many games. Hit it. Oh, you're not going to hit it. I'll do it. Where is it? No, I don't have the good for you ready.
What I do?
Hit the good for you, because I said I won a lot of games in Smithcon.
Oh, good for you.
This time I was probably half, maybe at the most, maybe 40% is the games I won. So I like that more. I like
More than me.
Yeah. What? How many did you get? Like 1?
I don't know.
2?
I don't know how to count.
Mark played your deck. That counts as a half win, right?
Like a scry.
Yeah. Right.
No, I don't know if I was counting. There was Riku definitely won. I had again, all I care about is most of my decks doing thing. The only thing that really failed was Gonti in like trying to steal other people's stuff. Like I died to poison, and I'm not even mad. Like Red Squirrel killed me with poison, and I was just like,
that's the thing you hate the most.
I mean, I didn't get another game with them, but also it was payback for the Riku deck at least. But it wasn't doing anything, so it just like it didn't. I don't know.
You didn't.
Maybe I've softened in my old age.
Kind of like what
Quinn was beating me up too. Like it was like,
oh,
you're how many land I have.
You're the one person he beat up because he was getting his ass kicked. No, I'm just kidding. That was
so. I mean, that was the only game where I was just like, oh, Gonti didn't do very well, and I have to relook at that one and just kind of go, is this something that I want to keep around?
Right. And that's the opposite of my morph. Like the morph did so bad that I don't even want to think about trying to fix it. Like I'm just like, no, there isn't enough.
Right. Well, there isn't a lot to work with.
Right. I was gonna say there isn't enough things I can add to it to make it better. To make it more enjoyable. It's so clunky and slow. Like even the commander thinking about it, you only draw the bonus cards of the cards that flip over. And so if the commander sucks, like the commander doesn't help that much. Like it really doesn't do anything. So I was just like, nope, I'm done with this deck. So that's one that's gonna die. And I don't do that very often.
My Ishin deck is probably gonna get killed but not because it was bad, but because it wasn't. I wanted it to goad, and it ended up doing the same thing that you kind of when you played it at my birthday. Like it did all right, but then you kind of just sat there and you're like, it didn't even goad for me, and you had a dead card of goading, and I was just like, I think I'm too far away from the original idea of what I want to have happen. I'd have to like totally rebuild it to have it do what I want. I'm like, it's better just to get rid of it. It's 2+ years at this point, so it's okay to kill that one.
Oh, it looks like Tag killed one of his decks too. We've had that talk before of what do you do after. That was actually a thought of doing that as this episode this week, but I'll save that for a different. We should probably get moving because we're at an hour. We're a later start,
and we started late.
Yeah. So,
right.
Really quick, I'm not going to do a lot of tags. I'm just going to say, become a patron. You get to get in the Discord and stuff. You get to take part in the Smithcon stuff. We might be shifting things from a summer thing to more of a winter thing. That's kind of up in the air of what we're going to do there. But that supports us, helps us out. It makes it so that we can do this, like do the Smithcon thing is really everybody that donates either on the live stuff, if you're donating for Malort Shots, if you're donating to be a patron, not only in the Discord, just, we all chat there. We're buddies there. That's the cool thing about the Smithcon stuff. Is they're all pretty like-minded. So like when we get together, it's super easy and chill. Like it's not.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like hanging out with buddies, and
it's such a good experience.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody's fucking smiling and laughing and shit like that. Like another thing that my wife pointed out, because I didn't know it was going to happen, but Renshai and Guy Incognito both couldn't make it this year. And they're definitely big time in the Discord and supporters of us when they've been friends for years at this point.
Yeah.
And guys from Minnesota, and he had a family reunion where Renshai lives, and they were able to meet up. And you're like, shit,
that's pretty sweet.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Like I did not know that was going to happen. They weren't like, we're going to meet up. It was just
even think
something
about
that they did, and they're like, hey, we're together, having a beer.
And Renshai
yeah.
and Jacuzzi are buddies, and he was in his at the wedding for Jacuzzi this last year and all that stuff. So it's cool because you meet a lot of cool people, and then when you get together with everybody, it's not like going to a big con event, like a Magic event where you're just randoms, and it's like, oh, are they on the same level? Are they a judge rules? Everybody pretty much has the same the same vibe. So it makes it super easy. So really highly recommend, especially if you're in the Midwest. And
again, if you're skipping a plane flight, that does make it a lot easier.
Yeah. If you can drive, it's a lot easier. But even still, like if you could fly, we have a few people that come out of town, so that's really nice. But that supports us. That keeps us going and everything like that. Everything that we get from you guys goes right back into the show one way or another, either if it's equipment, giveaway stuff, getting stuff ready for Smithcon. I mean, it costs money. All this stuff costs money. So I thank you guys, everybody that donates, that are currently donating. And if you choose to donate in the future, appreciate that as well. That's all I'm really going to say for our tag stuff. You guys can check our stuff out. We're a little late with stuff today. Again, Friday, if you didn't hear that earlier, we are going to be going live because I am gone all next week. So Friday is going to be the thing that we talked about. It's going to be a little test here. It's going to be a full-on Stump the Smith Savant. You guys need to get some of your suggestions in because after Friday, we're going to run through probably, depends on how Lowry does, but we're going to run through quite a bit of them. And so the numbers are going to be down, and it's going to add up. So if Lowry doesn't get stumped, that's one that he didn't get stumped. So if he gets to 3, we add a card to the ante. So that's what's going to go on Friday. We're going to go probably roughly around an hour, 9 o'clock probably start time. We'll probably have some drinks there. Depends on how you're feeling and all that. But I have some.
I think people should show up. I have a little bit of an idea. I'll pitch it to you after.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Friday. If you're listening,
you know what? I'll do it right now. And you can say no, Lowry. Stop. You're an idiot. But after every loss, I'll take a shot.
Oh, I don't know why I just sounded like Santa.
For free. For free.
Oh, shit.
That is just, if I lose, I'll take a shot.
Oh, this could be
other than the last one, because there isn't any real point to that. I'm not going to get drunker, but and we'll have basically 5 loaded and ready to go. And
and it's
going for about
there's going to be a 15-minute timer. So Lowry has
Yes.
also to work against that. So you guys have some incentive to watch it, especially if you don't get it.
I'm going to have like an hour of no comments. That is just, I don't know. That's going to be wild too. But that was my thought. You like the idea?
I like that spin. Good job.
I'm
I
glad you
that.
like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
How about you take a shot with me, huh?
Oh, I don't know if I'll do that. That'll make the clues really easy. I'm just going to say, this is the card. I don't want
In
Malort.
Spanish.
If we can think of another way for me to do it. Oh, shit. What if mine was every one that you get right, I take a shot? Because then that means I'm going to make them really hard. Oh, that could be brutal.
No. It's just me. I'm not worried about it.
We got our first one. Oh shit. All right, Token Joker. We're not doing that tonight though. Not Malort tonight.
Not tonight.
It is gonna be this is gonna move over to Friday. So you already got the first one where we will start it on Friday. How about that? That's gonna the cast is gonna start.
All right, we'll start it with a shot.
Yep. So it's gonna be this one right here.
Right.
Thank you so much, buddy. So again, anything like this, even though we're taking shots, this does help us continue to do what we're doing here. So that's it for the tag stuff. I think it's time we get into something with Savant. Let's get over to it. And you also lost last week, so you get the other one.
Twice in a row.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show.
I know what it is. I just don't know the name.
That's kind of what you had last week, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I wasn't gonna get there. That thing was long in its name. I still can't remember what the name of it is.
Oh, last week? Oh, I have
Yeah.
that on a different sheet.
Right. It's
Yeah, I don't remember.
a paragraph of.
All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no will hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He gets up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. We are taking suggestions. If you want to suggest to try to win cards, right now we have, well, I guess we got to go to the next proxy. Let's see. What is going to be on the list? You know what? This is on the top. It's not one of the new ones. But, wait, hang on. Let me just check here. What do you want, Lowry? Should we do a Surveil Land? Should I do a Surveil Land?
That's a good one.
All
Yeah.
right, let's do another.
They're very
Surveil.
pretty.
Yeah. So, foils hedge maze right there. So that can go in your Nadu deck with the green and blue there.
Nah, don't build that deck.
Don't build it. We did not see any Nadu this whole weekend. At least I didn't see
Thank
it.
God.
So, yeah.
I mean, it just came out.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been fucking brutal.
I did shove it in my Mothman deck and never came in. Mothman got killed instantly every time I played it. I was like, Mothman out, Mothman dead. Yeah. Okay, so 10,000 EDH rec decks. I eliminated the chat, so chat can play along. If Lowry can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials. If he has a clue left over, he will get a bonus clue, which should help him guess the card, unlike last week, because there was a lot of words, so that didn't help you at all. Your current record is 92-32. We are on round 32, week 1. And every 3 weeks, like I mentioned, we add a card to the ante. All right, here we go. Flavor text. Virtue is virtue. Whatever the heart that nurtures it. What? Is that really what it says? Whatever the heart that nurtures it. Okay. Virtue is virtue. Whatever the heart that nurtures it. Malcan. Man, I can read. Malacan.
All right, you're right.
Vantress Exile.
He can't even read.
Malacan Vantress Exile? That's fucking weird.
Yes. Okay. So I believe Vantress would be from Eldraine, either set. Can I get that?
Oh,
yeah.
you want
Is
a
it
yes
from
or a no?
Eldraine?
Okay.
Hello, boobies.
I thought you were just talking out loud.
No. Yeah, I was, but I wanted to.
You wanted a boobies.
Virtue is virtue. Whatever the heart that nurtures it. Malacan.
I forgot to say, this week's stumper is Shonsky. Sorry, Shonsky is our stumper this week.
There we go. Okay, let's see here. Virtue is generally kind of like a white, maybe a blue. I don't remember which one Vantress was. not black, not green, Karen Brick. Red is not that either. So yeah, it's definitely white or blue. Is it a color identity, white or blue?
Hello,
And/or-
boobies.
All right. First clue, please.
The art features a zombie and a human holding hands frolicking in a field while throwing rose petals.
I don't remember that. That
The art
Does not-
features a zombie and a human holding hands frolicking in a field while throwing rose petals in the air.
that does not feel like a permanent card. That feels like something that's like bringing these two things together. So is this a non-permanent card?
Ooh, Renshai has the initials. Non-permanent.
Hello, boobies.
Okay. So we know it's an instant or sorcery. Know that it's white and or blue. Instant or sorcery. White and or blue. If I can remember the white or blue name, that gives me a lot better clue. But I got one right. Let's go on to the second clue, please.
The text features two choices, but each choice must be a different player, and the result is typically used for temporary removal, but can be used for protection.
Repeat that,
The
please.
text features two choices, but each choice must be a different player, and the result is typically used for temporary removal, but can be used for protection.
One more time, please.
The text features two choices, but each choice must be a different player, and the result is typically used for temporary removal, but can be used for protection.
I don't know this.
It's like that when Gandalf is staring into the,
I mean-
the tunnels. I don't know this place.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Um,
know this.
the air smells fresher this way.
When in doubt, follow your nose.
All right. So, I mean, my assumption is going to be that it's either blinking or phasing, which is kind of both in blue and white. So that does not help me. Hold on. I think it's blue. Can I hear the first clue, please?
The art features a zombie and a human holding hands frolicking in a field while throwing rose petals.
Is this blue?
Hello, boobies.
Blue and a colorless
Hello, boobies.
instant.
Hello, boobies.
Uh-oh.
I still don't know it, but but I got the picture in my head at this point. Okay. I think it's a bounce. I don't think it's phasing or flicker or whatever. I think it's a bounce. I think you bounce one of your creatures, one of their creatures. That sounds right. Throne of Eldraine.
Hello, boobies.
Does it does the wording include returning creatures to hand?
Hello, boobies.
Do I have to get the wording
No.
exactly? It's basically you have to return one of your creatures to your hand
Not
and
ex-
then an opponent's creature.
Not exactly. I don't know if I give you a wrong. It's close, but it's not. I kind of feel like it's a wrong there, maybe.
Okay.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
It's very close.
Well then basically it's not you specifically.
Hello, boobies.
Yeah, so it's return 2 creatures to their owner's hand, but they have to be 2 different players.
There you go. Okay, so
Yeah.
the initials are R-A-T.
R-A-T. So that's gonna be a problem. This is a common, for sure.
Yep.
Hello,
And
boobies.
it's just a big hulking. I would call it a zombie, I guess. in
Yeah,
my
it's like a zombie mixed with like a hunchback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a little girl or something, a much smaller
Smaller. Yep.
human.
So you do have a bonus clue. This is more of a saying, like, if I don't want to give away too much there, but like if 2 people fall in love and then they want to go off on their own, and it's a saying, like if maybe like their families don't agree, it's not staying there, you're going away, and it's 3 words. R-A-T. I don't want to give away each word.
Is this something
Like
that I
you
would think is
fall in
like
love,
foolish?
You fall in
I mean, like,
love,
what are you doing?
and then you
All right.
you go off. Not to use the same words that are in there.
Virtue is virtue, whatever the
I
heart
think I always say
that
this.
nurtures it.
They didn't write
Um,
this. Let's see. You.
R-A-T.
Oh, here we go.
okay,
Here we go.
hold on,
Here we go.
hold on,
Hold
hold on,
on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, so let's go with their first clue, please.
The art features a zombie and a human holding hands, frolicking in a field while throwing rose petals. Here's the better. Here's the better.
Is the T together?
Hello, boobies.
R-A
What
together.
was? What was the extra clue?
That's what I was gonna say. This is a better way of saying it. It's if 2 people fell in love, or in this case, 2 things fell in love that shouldn't be falling in love, and both their families don't agree on it. So instead of staying where they are, and you have together.
Frolic.
So they go.
I think I'm catching on. This might be the first potential clue that I've heard in your clue, but frolic seems to be that's the verb. They're doing something together to get away.
So they're leaving their families and
right. So it's frolic is like the okay. R. Run.
Hello, boobies.
run together.
Yeah. Run away together.
Hello,
There you
boobies.
go.
There we go.
That was right. It was just like I don't know.
There we go. Oh, that is not how I was picturing it, but kind of.
So the funny
So-
thing is when I first started writing the clues, I wrote it for this one, which this one was a lot harder because it's from this one. I spent like 15 minutes and I didn't realize there was a second version, like the original. I like to do the original unless somebody requests, hey, do the one
specific
from
one.
Baldur's Gate or whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice try, Sean.
Yeah,
that was a
Sean.
good one.
If you want, Sean, you can sign that and send it to us, and we'll get it posted on the walls, like Lowry's wall behind him. Mine is over on my booby poster over here.
Got one from Red Squirrel here that he brought this weekend.
Oh yeah, I
Thank
forgot
you
to
very
grab. I'll
much.
get bust my stuff out on Friday. So yeah, thank you for. Yeah, I did help you out there a little bit. But he got all the way. He got all the way there with a bonus clue. That was pretty good. You kind of knew what was going on.
Right. Good thing.
but
Good
yeah,
thing
you
Bing
guys,
helped you, huh?
I'm not. I am totally serious. We need more suggestions, especially after Friday, because we're going to run through 5 people And I'm not drawing names right now. It's going to be the oldest on the list. So we're going to kind of knock those 5 out. But after that, feel free. Get some suggestions in. You don't have to write any clues. You don't even have to be part of the Discord. You could be somebody that's just watching on YouTube or listening to us. Get those in. The best way to do it is email us at commandersmiths@gmail.com. Or if you are a part of the Discord, direct message me and I'll get your name in there. So even if you just had it, because I got AJ put in another suggestion and he was our last stumper that got you. So you feel free. Anybody can enter. We'll get some names in there. And you will get your name drawn eventually. No matter what, I go down the list of oldest whenever I forget to draw a name or if we're doing something like this. So, all right. I think that'll do it for this week, guys. We, again, see you guys on Friday. So I guess don't catch you this week. We'll catch you later this week. I guess I'm ending it weird, so you're going to have trouble going to... what do you say next? You're reading. You're not.
Are we ending?
Thanks. Yeah, I guess.
I wasn't paying
All right, we'll
attention
catch
to
you
what
guys
you're
on Friday. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Sega.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers.
Spit on that
I
thing.
love boobs. Thanks for the
I'm going to be building
memories.
Genku
I
this week.
love
Probably Wednesday.
boobs.
Make sure you guys check that out Wednesday. Cheers, Larry. Ba-doo.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ba-doo. Boom.
Hey, Meat Force, could you kindly tap the like and subscribe button? And if you're ever in the mood, head on over to commandersmiths.com and you can get the shirts and mugs you see on the screen and some other stuff. Thank you.